Okay, so hi everybody, I am Infinitenin, and as you can see here, my hat proves it. My mom made this hat for me. This is my official Infinitenin hat. I said I would be showcasing her hats in my videos, and that is what I shall do. So, I have here a large piece of Yupo paper. My hair feels funny now because it's underneath the hat, and I feel like it looks kind of funny because my head's under a hat. I have here a large piece of Yupo paper, and I'm experiencing a pretty significant degree of anxiety. I feel like I want to fix this hat. A pretty significant degree of anxiety at this very moment because I'm worried about an outcome. And I'm sure that a lot of y'all out there, I say y'all, a lot of y'all out there can relate to, wanting to control outcomes, and I kind of feel like Katie the cat and Unico. Controlling outcomes and feeling like a sensation of, what's the word I want? Impatience and anxiety because maybe we desire a particular outcome and we thought that the outcome that we wanted was assured, and then we find out that there's maybe a hiccup or a snafu or something else is going on that maybe does not assure the outcome that we want. And then that can create anxiety if you're attached to an outcome. So at least for me, that's what happens. When I get attached to an outcome, I become anxious until it's resolved in one way or the other. And because I have decided recently to not be a slave to my emotional states, I'm going to take my own advice and I'm going to make a video. I pulled it together as I was spiraling, and I decided to go ahead and give another try to Layla's painting. Yesterday was not a success. That was not the painting that she wanted, and that's okay. Some other folks liked it. I like it. I made some changes to it, and so it's a success regardless. And there was another example of I was not attached to the outcome. It did not. I hoped that Layla would like the painting and want the painting, but if she didn't, it didn't affect me one way or the other. It was just try again. So I'm trying to, no, I'm not trying, I am using the same concept to effect a state change with this painting right now. So, all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I am going to just start with some basic dark colors. I'm going to start with slate, and I'm going to start the same way I started yesterday, which is with dark colors, and do some drip style ink application. So, She did say that she enjoyed the silver. So I'm going to add silver mixative to this. See how that goes. Trying to control an outcome is insanity. Things go how they go. You know, you do what you're supposed to do, and you have to let go. I have to let go of the result. It's not up to me. The rest of it's not up to me. I don't always like that, but that's just how it works. We're going to get this right one way or the other. And this is good for me because, you know, Layla's very choosy about what she wants, and I'm really making a concerted effort to get it right. And if I'm going to do this, which I plan to do this, you know, I'm already doing it professionally. If you're getting paid for something, it's professional. So if I'm doing this professionally, then I need to step up to the plate and get stuff done the way that people want it, and that's just the way it is. Again, just things are how they are. And if we don't like them, then we change them. State change people. If you don't like something, you can change it. Just like the universal radio. I've talked about this in the past, maybe not on this channel, but in life, you know, it's like when you're listening to the radio, or back in the day when, you know, you drive the car, and, oh, that's very cool. That's very, very cool. See? Everything's going to be just fine no matter what. When you would be driving the car back in the day, or listening to the radio, remember that? Listening to the radio? Like, just listening to it? I remember Z97. Some of y'all up in the Northeast and Vermont will remember Z97. It's probably still a thing. If you didn't like what they were playing or talking about, all you had to do was change the channel. This metaphor works with television, it works with internet, it works with your thoughts. If we don't like what we're thinking about, then we can choose to think about something different, even if it feels like, and sometimes it might feel like, changing your thought is like doing something bad. Like, I should be thinking about this because this thing is really pissing me off, and if I choose to stop thinking about it, I'm like cheating on my own mind, or some nonsense like that. That is just ludicrous. There is no reason Literally, there isn't. There's no reason to entertain thoughts that are uncomfortable. It doesn't mean to disregard your responsibilities or, let's be, sort of an adultish about it. It just means that you're not forced to think about something just because that's where your mind tends to go. I mean, we all have habits of thought, and the idea here is that you do not have to be a slave to a habit of thought. You can change it. And that's what this painting, all of these paintings, that's what the process is about. It's about a visual representation. Let's imagine that this is a thought that I'm not happy with. So I'm going to maneuver it around. And I'm going to say, all right, you thought that is troublesome. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to add a different thought. I'm going to add a different thought right on top of you. So there. Now there's another thought there that I can... There's that thought. Oh, that thought's interesting. It looks like a heart. Now it looks like something else. Now it's kind of morphing. Sort of have like a Terminator thing going on. I keep referencing Terminator. I don't know. Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe? I don't know. Didn't he pass away? That's unfortunate. Oh, we all gotta go. So here I go with that, and I'm sort of feeling like Layla might like this. Although, Layla, if you don't, that's okay too. So now I'm going to add some texture. See how that goes. Sometimes we just need to distract ourselves, like children, you know? Because that thing you're thinking about, that you want to not think about it, because thinking about it is not comfortable. It's painful even. But yet, there we go, thinking about it, trying to change the results in our mind when it's insane to do that. Literally, it's not sane. It's not possible to do. I mean, we can certainly think positively because what's the point? What's the point of getting into a negative thought spiral? That's not very helpful. So we can think positively, and we can hope for what we want, but I did mention in a previous video that sometimes the things you think, at least for me, I've had this happen before, and I'm going to repeat myself because this is an important thing to really hammer home for myself, and maybe for some of you out there. Sometimes I think I want something, and I have my mind and my heart and soul set on it, and this is the way it's going to be, and I'm going to get that thing that I want, and nothing's going to stop me, and I go all kinds of, I'm all in on it, and this is how it's going to go, and I'm going to make it happen, I'm going to, hustle, and then that thing maybe doesn't happen, and then, I've studied multiple different spiritual teachers over the course of the last many years, and, it goes back to, if not this, then something better. And sometimes it seems like there is nothing better than this thing that I want because I want it right now. And that's, you know, being a little kid, which is all fine. You know, that's all fine and good too. There's validity in experiencing that child and, you know, calming that child within that says, but mommy, I want it right now. And you can just go ahead and say to that child, well, I know that you do, and I understand, and I hear you, and I feel you. Sometimes we don't get what we want when we want it. And we just have to be patient and wait. And I love you even though you're having a difficult time waiting for the answer, even if it's the answer you don't want. And if it, honey, and if it happens to be the answer that you don't want to have, it's going to be okay. And something even better will come along, and we'll work it out. And that's really all we're trying to do here. It's just get along in the world. This is a very interesting painting. And again, if it turns out that Layla does not particularly enjoy this painting for whatever reason, I make another painting. The point here, I think, there are a few points, but one of the main points is to learn how to self-soothe and not grab for something that is unhealthy to avoid uncomfortable feelings, to like feel those uncomfortable feelings. And I'm feeling the discomfort of what if this thing I thought was a done deal is not a done deal, and what if, and you know that's, it's not staying in the present. And when I'm not staying in the present, I'm missing the whole journey. I'm missing the journey. Stay in the present. So by doing this painting and by talking on this video, I'm literally, like, I have to be present to do this. I'm seeing the ink move around on this paper, and it's absolutely stunning to watch. And I'm trying to make it better. I'm trying to get better equipment and things. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Again, there's another thing I just have to be patient about, and like, you know, be gentle with myself about. I don't know what I'm doing. I just started making videos just with my camera, with my computer, my phone. I just started painting randomly because someone suggested that I do that, and here's where we are now. Yeah, I have to be honest. This hat's a little warm right now. I can't make up its mind here. Um, Thank you, Mom. You're the best. I'm pretty anxious about the outcome. Uh, there's no reason for me to be dishonest about that. It's just a feeling. Feelings pass. Remember that time when I was sad? That passed. Remember that time when I was like super excited because I was like, yay, nailed it. That passed. Oh, please do something cool. Because I feel like it will. A lot of times when ego is invested, it makes it even harder. At least for me. I don't know about anyone else, but when my ego is invested in a thing, I can become very touchy and sensitive about the outcome. I have to remember that egocentric living is not helpful. And really trust in the universe that what is meant to happen is going to happen, whether I want to, be present for it or not. I said this in a previous video, it's not what happens, it's what you do with what happens. And for all I know, and for all the likely scenario that's playing out right now is that I'm overreacting internally to a perceived threat. And when I say threat, I mean something that will be taken away from me. And I didn't even have the thing per se. It's not a thing to have. I didn't even have the thing that I feel threatened to maybe taken away from me. So the whole thing is an illusion to begin with. And nothing is the end of the world. And it's just a pattern of thought and a habit of thought to be a little bit neurotic. So this is a really great opportunity for me to not respond in that way. Listen to me. Can't believe I'm actually saying the words I'm saying out loud. It's like a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, everyone. You know what? No, you don't know. I kind of feel like I made a mess out of this, but I don't know if I did. I don't know. I don't know. I do know that I'm supposed to be getting my giant UPO paper today, which is exciting. And I do know that I'm starting to feel a little bit hungry. So I might snack on a banana. High in potassium. And I'm going to take a new brush When I was in college, back in, when I first was going to college, the first college that I went to in Massachusetts, I would call my mom, like, every time I had to take a test or write a paper and just bawl my eyes out. I failed it. I know I bombed it. It was terrible. It was the worst. I would just be convinced that I had like no confidence, even though I had evidence to the contrary. You know, the fact that I was at this school was a great thing to begin with, and here I was, like, just so terrified that I was going to blow it, and I never did. I made the dean's list, and I was able to get into a college in Florida that is a pretty prestigious college. I did it. I said it. Prestigious. And I met a lot of wonderful people there. And so, you know, that school closed, which is the only reason that I ended up not continuing there. And so there's a good example of, you know, overreacting, not being concerned about the outcome, like allowing fear of the outcome to rule my emotional state, for nothing, for absolutely no reason, because that never happened. I never failed a paper. I made the dean's list. You know, none of those things were real or true. And even if I did screw up a paper, like, is that really the end of the world? No, it's not. Definitely not the end of the world. Is it gonna feel bad to my ego? Probably. Definitely, probably. But it's certainly not the end of the world. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't. I don't know. I feel like I want to... Add some pearl. This isn't what I was trying to do, but that's okay. I feel like I want to, you know what? I'm gonna just go with my intuition. I feel like I want to start over. I want to start over. I'm not. This isn't what I was trying to do, and that's okay because I will make something out of this. This will be an alchemical painting for later. In the meantime, I'm going to upload this video, eat a banana, and refresh myself. Maybe do a little meditating and listening to some Alan Watts or various other spiritual and or philosophical teachers. Let it be said, we don't control outcomes. We do put in the best, we do put our best foot forward. We don't control the outcomes. I think that's how I would like to end this. This is Infinitenin. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like a painting, let me know, and maybe you can go ahead and purchase it. And I hope everyone is having a fantastic Friday. Looking forward to painting with you soon. Okay, great. Thank you.